today, and they all look absolutely beautiful. The Whitley Rose Queen-elect, who this year is Alexandra Barker and her retinue. That's Berry Williamson, Maisie Spencer and Laura Buckley. Jack Hood is the crown bearer. Lewis Preston and Anthony Powell are the train bearers. Keep your trains away from Robert's travel wheels. His driving improves with age, and my goodness me, there's a lot of age there to improve. Now the formal part of our event begins right now as the Rose Queens, the retiring Queen, will go and collect her. This tradition has been played out in our village for many, many years, beautifully every year. So here is Olivia walking up the ring to collect Alexandra Barker. While everybody makes themselves comfortable on the stage, as we know, behind every good man is a really great woman.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What a wonderful day we've got today. I'll tell you what, we're not going much better than this, will we? This breeze up here is beautiful. We're in the shade, so I'll not be too long. I can see you're not in it. One or two things, obviously, I need to mention, which is our retiring Queen, Olivia, who's done a wonderful job, and her retinue, and we've enjoyed what she's done for us this year, and I'm sure Alexander will do exactly the same for us next year. They look fantastic. Nice to see Queens from Comberbatch here enjoying the day. One of the things I always fail to mention, and she does a fantastic job for us, I know you'll all agree, Victoria runs this thing with a rod of iron, and we're very, very grateful. Thank you, Victoria, for all you do for us. What I want to mention today is the community spirit of this village. Sometimes we forget about it. Friday night on this field, it was milling with people helping, just turning up and doing their thing, exactly the same this morning. And I know the weather helps, but it really does your heart good. We've got such a wonderful village. Sometimes I forget, yes, I was born here, but I forget what a good village it is. I forget that the school was so important to it. Yes, they didn't educate me too well, but they had a hell of a job anyway. But we had one or two problems with the school, and now we realise it's on the up. The village wouldn't be the same without it. We have a small problem now with the church and the vicarage, which we must fight for to keep, because if we ever lose the vicarage, it's a thin edge of the wedge. So one of these days we'll be coming round to you, maybe even to canvass you, that we must keep this community and village going. We have the most wonderful church, we have a wonderful village hall, a wonderful school. Let's not lose any of it.
Here, right. Here.
I'm sorry I was on my soapbox a little bit then, but I am very passionate about Whitley. One or two things that's a little bit new today. I'm hoping one or two of you younger ones will try it. The surfboard, we've got a surfboard up there. I've had a look at it, there's no way I'd get on it, but I'm sure one or two would enjoy it. We've got different people doing different things that we've not had before. We have had the lady, and I forgot her name now, who does the dance with the girls, which you'll see at 3:30, and they're wonderful. I've got a grandson involved, and it's magic to see them. I want to mention Richard and Judith, because Judith and Richard, the vicar and his wife, are leaving and retiring this year. We're going to miss them terribly, but fortunately she said she would crown the Queen for us today, so I'm very, very grateful. So I'm going to hand you over now to our president. Have a good day, spend your money, you only live once, enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bob. A few years ago, the president who was president before me ripped her notes up in front of everybody because Bob had said everything she was going to say. And I think rather the same has happened. But I just would like to repeat what Bob said. A big welcome to you all. It's lovely to see so many of you here. But what better place to be on a lovely sunny afternoon than Whitley? The first Whitley Rose Queen Day was over 60 years ago, before Queen Elizabeth came to the throne. And there are certainly 3 people here today who were in that very first procession. And there's someone on the stage who was actually at the second Rose Queen, but he assures us he was only in a pram, not in the procession. In Whitley, we have a strong and precious family tradition supporting this highlight in the village calendar. And once again, we've enjoyed a wonderfully colourful procession to get the afternoon off to a flying start. And it's thanks to all of you here who are in the procession and who have children in the procession that it's such fun for us all to watch. And we've got the most wonderful fruit salad on the stage here. And a special thank you to Frodsham Silver Band for leading the procession. It always makes it much more lively and fun. One of the best bits about being president is that I get a chance to thank the Rose Queen Committee for making it possible for us to enjoy this day. They come up with new ideas each year and give up a lot of time to make sure we've fun this afternoon. And look at all the interesting activities awaiting us. And later, they're going to do a special treat for you. So just wait. The Rose Queen Committee will surprise you all. Thank you all very much, committee, for all you do, and to your families who play a big part in a day like today. Our chairman, Rob, does a wonderful job keeping us all in line, enthusiastic and entertained. Thank you for another happy year in the life of Whitley Rose Queen, and for organising the weather, Rob. And thank you, as Rob said, to Vicky and Kat for your team in the commentary box. You certainly add spice to the afternoon. Now, today is our Rose Queen special day, and we have make a special warm welcome to our visiting queens from Cumberbatch. A big thank you, to repeat what Bob said, to our retiring Rose Queen Olivia and to her retinue, who've had a busy year and who's represented us round Cheshire. And now we welcome Alexandra as our Rose Queen-elect, with her retinue all looking magnificent. Thank you, families, for all these beautifully dressed young people on the stage. So much thought and hard work goes into it all. And Alex isn't actually Rose Queen yet. And it's a real pleasure to welcome and introduce you to Mrs. Judith Diggle. She and her husband Richard have been in the village for 4 years and together have made a huge difference to the life of St. Luke's, our village church. But sadly, they'll soon be leaving us. But we're delighted that Judith has come to crown our Rose Queen this year. So I'll hand you over to Judith.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I would like to thank Rob Horton and Sue Roberts and all the committee for inviting me to come and crown the Rose Queen. To me, it's an enormous honour. Until I came to this village, I hadn't actually been to a Rose Queen fete before. I'd never seen a Rose Queen being crowned, so this was a brand new experience for me. And when I was talking to my husband Richard about the crowning of the Rose Queen, he mentioned that his own mother, in 1960, in her village, crowned the Rose Queen. And I didn't know. So congratulations to the new Queen Alexandra Barker. I hope she enjoys all the opportunities that will be given to her this year. It will give her an enormous confidence for future public appearances during her lifetime. As it's been mentioned by Sue Roberts that Richard and myself are going to be leaving the community very soon, we won't be moving very far, only half an hour down the A49. It means that we will have the opportunity to come up and visit everybody. and to enjoy these particular days like this one here. I'd like to have this opportunity to mention that in this particular village, which has been very special to us, they've had such wonderful things, such as the church, little church, the WI, the Mothers Union, the hall, all the children's activities, pub and bowling green, lots of things that exist within small village life. And this has been very special to us. And although we have actually had 4 churches to attend, Whitley, because we've lived here, has been very, very special to us. I am now going to crown the new Rose Queen for 2012, Alexandra Barker. We wish you all the very best for a wonderful year. Thank you.
Well, the formality of a day like this, ladies and gentlemen, would not be complete without the presentation of some beautiful flower sprays to the dignitaries on the stage. So I would ask Matilda Healy to step forward with her little spray of flowers there and bring it to Mrs. Judith Diggle, who I don't doubt for one moment will step to the front of the stage so that Matilda can find her more easily. Matilda, I'm given to understand, won't be very tall because she's coming from the preschool, but she'll have in her hand a very pretty flower to bring to Mrs. Diggle. And she's dressed as a pineapple, so we'll definitely know who she is. That's Matilda who's dressed as a pineapple, not Mrs. Diggle. I'll stop, Judith, I'll stop. There we go. Thank you very much, Matilda. That's a very big grown-up job you've done. Thank you. And if Rose Helm would bring her beautiful flower spray up to Mrs. Roberts, who will step forward to collect it, I'm sure. Is this Rose? And Rose, I think, is a strawberry. Thank you. Now, very special year for us here at Whitley, because Alfie Horton is going to bring a flower up to the Lady Helen Horton, who's his grandma. So we hope he'll be able to recognise his grandma. She doesn't look old enough to be a grandma, clearly, does she? Far too young and beautiful. Well done, Alfie. Nice job. And Ollie Charlesworth, could you bring your flower spray up? Are you a strawberry as well, Ollie? That's fantastic. And Mr. Robert Horton would step forward and collect his. That's very kind. Thank you. Well done, children. Now, members of the Rose Queen Committee always supply our Rose Queen elect with a gift for her year. And so Karen Hood from the Rose Queen Committee is going to bring that gift up. Karen is one of the newer members, and what we do to them is we make them behave like idiots at Christmas by dressing them up as fools, and then, oh yes, you will be. Please don't bother thinking about it. This is Karen, everybody. If you're over 60 at Christmas time, you'll know her. Thank you very much indeed. Now, this is the point, ladies and gentlemen, that I mentioned to you earlier on, where you can step forward and take photographs of the children and everybody on the stage. It's their special day, so it's your special day too, and you really must record this event.
Look at the camera.
We will go into third place first. Third place is Matilda Healy as the pineapple. So let's make sure we've got Matilda standing there. Please bring Matilda to the ladies and gentlemen who are giving the prizes out. In second place, Alfie Horton, who is the grapes. So please bring Alfie forward so he may get his prize. And in first place, Amelia Oldroyd, who is a blueberry. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that there are children sitting on the stage here this year who have all been so looking forward to this event. Possibly not least because there might be some little gifts for them that they all buy for each other every year. So if your children who are on the stage have gifts for each other, now would be a lovely time for you to bring them up to the children on the stage.
I've got a box.
Where does it normally go?
In the box in my house. Would you want me to? Alright. Oh. Can I try it on? I've always wanted to be a queen. Look at Sylvie.
I want to get involved. Cheese!
Hope you edit that.
So I'm going to hand you over now to music from another area of the arena and the performance by the children of Whitley School.
Oh
This is dancing in a traditional manner. I'll be honest with you, I think it's the sort of thing that we clap along to, isn't it? Yes, you'd like the support of us clapping along. Make sure you're doing it in time with the music, otherwise they'll be forever confused. What did I tell you about men skipping in the sunshine in a village atmosphere? There's something about it that warms the cockles of your heart. I think these Whitley boys skip particularly well. And the girls, of course. There's never any doubt. applause, ladies and gentlemen.